Well, hello there. Welcome to our channel, my friend Bob. We're going through the dead of winter right now, so you can't do much outside. So, what I'm doing today is what I like to do other than gardening is cooking. So, I'll introduce you to something very different, and I hope that all of you like that. So, I'm about to make what's called Chapli Kabab. Chapli Kabab or Chapli Kabab, whichever you call it, was introduced in the Indo-Pak subcontinent by the Mughals. It really started in the Pashtun region, which is northern Pakistan and southern Afghanistan, which back in the day were one region, but they're part of two separate countries today, were famous about their livestock and the culture of eating meat. So it naturally started from there. Today, Chapli Kabab is everywhere in the world with its own take for spices or the consistency of meat or what they add to it, ingredients.
हमारा मसाले जो होते स्पेशल होते हैं, पिशावर से मसाला मंगवाते सिर्फ मसाला होते जी ये, तो इसलिए लोग पसंद करते हैं, दूर दूर तक लोग लेकर जाते। हमारा जितना कबाब जाते 12 मील तक भी जाते जी। हमारा रोज़ का कीमा लगता है तकरीबन 80 किलो कीमा लाल होते, 200 किलो कीमा तैयार निकलते हमारा।
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह इंशाल्लाह ताला हम चीज़ देता है, गलत चीज़ न कभी बेचा न इरादा है। ताज़ा माल आता है, गोश्त आता है, हम खुद कीमा बनाते हैं अपने हाथों से।
हमारा दुकान तकरीबन 2008 से शुरू है जी, और इधर हमारा हो गया 24 साल, और हम बहुत अरसे से इधर काम कर रहे हैं। और पिशावरी आलम खान पिशावरी चप्पल कबाब,
ताज़ा गोश्त आता है रोज़, ठीक है, 1200 रुपये किलो गोश्त आता है, और अपने हाथों से सफ़ाई करता है, फिर उसको कीमा निकालता है, फिर ख़ुद बनाता है। और मसाला सादा मसाला है, तो सादा मसाले का टेस्ट होता है अच्छा।
What I'm trying to do over here is just trying to give you a general idea what it's about. What do I have? I have like 3.5 pounds of ground beef, and that's all you need, and some spices. I'll start with roasting some spices. 2 spices which I find the base of is the coriander, the whole coriander seed. So I'll roast that. I'll also put some cumin. Surely salt goes, at least in my case, for everything. I'll use some black pepper, and the other thing which I'll use is, remember we made these flakes in summer with our own chili peppers. I'll just put them because we have them, and we will finish everything with a bit of chaat masala. You don't need everything for what I'm using, and when you'll see how other people who do it commercially do it, it's a bit different.
उसका तरीका ये है कि इसके साथ प्याज होते हैं, इस पे टमाटर होते हैं, आटा होते हैं जी, और मसाले होते हैं मुख्तलिफ। हम जो मसाले होते हैं, हमारा ख़ास मसाले होते हैं, पिशावर से आते सारे।
1200 रुपये किलो गोश्त आता है, और अपने हाथों से सफ़ाई करता है, फिर उसको कीमा निकालता है, फिर ख़ुद बनाता है। और मसाला सादा मसाला है, तो सादा मसाले का टेस्ट होता है अच्छा, देखिए सही होता है।
हमारा तो ख़ानदानी काम है जी, ये बचपन से हमारा तकरीबन इस पिंडी में 8 ब्रांच है जी चप्पल कबाब का, आलम खान पिशावरी चप्पल कबाब से।
What I'm doing is what I've learned over the years and how we used to do at my mom's house. Ingredients: ground beef, typically to do it right, you should use lamb. It is fattier than beef, but I will, and I'll show you later how I'll supplement it. People also try to make the same thing with chicken. Sure, you can, but I do not think that it justifies what a Chapli Kabab is about. Then I'll need onion, some tomatoes, bread to eat with. I'll also make a raita, so for that I need some yogurt, and I'll throw some cumin in it, and it'll be roasted. And I'll also make a salad, and we will finish it with a bit of pita bread. You can use just regular sliced bread or a hamburger. So let me go ahead and start with roasting some of these things. As I said, in my eyes, the roasted coriander is the base flavor. This kebab is not supposed to be super spicy. It just has to be flavorful. So I'll start with roasting some coriander, or for others who do not know, these are dried cilantro seeds. And roasting is just like for a minute or so. As soon as one pops and I can start smelling, here we go. I don't know if you could hear the pop, but I think one or two just popped, and that's exactly what I was looking for. Now, I'm using this handheld device because I don't want it to become powder. If you are using an electric grinder, just do to a point that you're almost splitting the seed or the pod into 3 or 4. Oh, okay, I can smell. That's exactly what I was looking for. And as this is happening, I'll also put some zira cumin, and I would split them into 2 because I need them both for the kebab and also for my raita. Okay, so this is done. This was the consistency I was trying to go for. So here it's still warm. I would not put it in the meat yet. Again, the same logic with this. I just need the first or second pop or a bit of smell, and that's what I'm looking for. I think I can almost smell it. Again, it will go over here. I'll try to do the same thing, not to crush it all the way, to make a powder out of it. The next one is, this is the one which I was talking about. In commercial settings, they don't use it. This is besan. Besan is chana dal powdered, or gram flour, whichever way you know it. I will use it for 2 things, surely to bind the meat, but also for the flavor, and I will roast this also. And the reason for roasting this is, if you just use it like that, unlike flour, besan has a lot of flavor and it just tastes raw in your mouth. All I'm doing is a minute or so. Oh, my heat is low. And as soon as I can get that smell, the whiff of the besan, that's it. And I didn't put too much. I could have gone more, but remember, if you do more than this, it does bring a kind of flavor that sometimes is not that pleasant. I would not let it go to the point that the color starts changing. Okay, I think I'm happy. I'll switch the heat off and I'll let it cool a bit. Now, the other 2 things, which salt will be used here, pepper, as I said. The other 2 things which I'll use in here are onion and tomatoes. With tomatoes, the idea is simple. You cut the tomato in half. You really don't want the guts, so you'll take the guts out. With onion, I'll go ahead and chop it Let me show you once I'm done with this. I went ahead and what I did was I diced some tomatoes, roughly diced, but one other thing which I did, which I said, I took the guts out. I will not throw this away. I'll put it in the fridge and I will need it for something else and I'll use it. Then I had, in terms of tomatoes, I think I had 3 or 4 tomatoes. You can have more or less, doesn't make a difference. The reason the guts have taken out, else the meat or the mince becomes too watery. 2 jalapenos, again diced roughly, 1 medium-sized onion, and some cilantro or coriander, green coriander. Everything will go in here, but let me put the dry spices first. I'll start with black pepper. All of the dry coriander that I roasted. As I said, the cumin I need some for raita, so I'll use a bit more than half. That should be good. The chilies. This is just because I made it at home and I'm just proud to use it. If you don't want to use chilies, you don't have to. Again, this is to taste. So I'm just winging it, how much I need. I think I'm good. So everything is here, then the basin. Now this step is important. You're almost kneading it because what you're trying to do, whatever spices and everything you put in here, you want it to mix properly. This is what the meat looks like. Now all my tomatoes. Now in commercial settings, you'll see that they don't put these things at this point in time. They put these things as they're cooking it. At home, it's easier to do this way. All the onion, everything else from here. From here, you just want to make sure that everything mixes. The smell of the onion and the cilantro is excellent. And I think I forgot to mention earlier, I always prefer, in this case I'm using beef with all fat. I don't like using beef which is 90%, 30, whatever the numbers are, that it has less fat. The more the fat, the better. It helps in the flavor. And keep in mind, when we'll fry it, most of the fat will render anyway. It won't sit in here.
इस पे होते लाल कीमा, छपल कबाब, बीफ कीमा होते, चिकन कबाब होते, और लोग बहुत पसंद करते हैं इस चीज़ को।
कि हम गोश्त मंगवाते हैं मज़ेदार, 100-200 रुपये महंगा। कीमत तो तैयार 300 का किलो भी मिलता है, 200 का भी मिलता है, 500 का भी मिलता है। गोश्त का ताज़ा गोश्त आता है रोज़।
And I said earlier, wait till the end when I start cooking, because I'll show you a magic. Okay, so just to show you, I'm not about to do anything. The consistency, like nothing is breaking. Okay, I can put this in the fridge, because in the meanwhile, I'll go and start making a salad, a simple salad, but I'll show you a twist. Now, when it comes to Chapli Kabab or Chapli Kabab, whichever way you would prefer to say it, it doesn't make a difference that once you mix everything together, it needs to sit for this long, like a marinade. I'm just doing it because I have to do my salad. That's the only reason I started doing that way. So I got a small cucumber, a small onion. I know the taste will be a bit raw, but that's the fun of it. Let's do 1 onion. I think I might need 2. Cut whichever way you want, does not make a difference. I'll do 1 more tomato. Now this is the fun part that I wanted to show you. At this point, take some salt and add. What salt will do, it helps both the tomato and onion to sweat. Not too much, just enough. We'll mix this. Then my cucumber. Give everything a mix. A fresh lemon. You prefer lime, you can do it. Again, a mix. I prefer my salads to be closer to room temperature than cold. So I'll just leave it here, and in a few minutes we'll start cooking. So we all prepared now. As I start, I've already started the fire for the pan to get a bit warm. So the magic I was talking about, or something weird or different I wanted to show you. So the butcher I go to, if you ask them, you can get free fat from them. Not fat free, the other way, free fat. So what I'm about to do is I'll take some of the fat and put it in my pan. And as I mentioned earlier, the fat would not be part of the final product anyway. Now, there are other additions you can do to the mince we put together. Examples would be, I could have taken this fat and cut it back or cut it small and just add it to my mincemeat.
असल में जो असल कबाब होते हैं चपल कबाब वो चर्बी में पकते हैं, लेकिन वो पिशावर में मिलते हैं।
पिशावर में सुबह सरहद में नली वाला नेक गुम्बा उसलिए चलते हो।
आजकल इस चीज़ पर पिंडी में जो है वो पाबंदी है। इधर हम घी में पकाते हैं और पिशावर में भी आपको कम तर जो है पिशावर में मिलेगा चर्बी में जी। तो उधर का और इधर का पानी में फर्क होता है, तो इसका वजह से इधर चर्बी लोग इतना नहीं पसंद करते, घी पसंद करते जी खाने में।
The other thing which people do is they take eggs and almost do like scrambled eggs. So you're not doing like a hamburger that you put a raw egg. You scramble an egg without any salt, pepper, anything. You don't have to. You chop it, or if it's already scrambled very well, you add to the mince and you mix it together. So that's another way of doing it. So as this is, I will add some, because I don't want to use all of the, I don't want to cook it all in animal fat. Animal fat is just on the side for a bit of flavor. It will just depends how much. Now, let's make the raita. Very simple to do. Yogurt, any kind, whole or skimmed, or whichever way you want, doesn't make a difference. So a few spoons of yogurt. Remember the cumin I kept, some fresh cilantro, cut, diced, and last not but least, actually two things. One with a bit of salt. You can also add a bit of sugar in here. It gives it a different flavor. Today I'm not choosing to. And bit of these dried chili peppers that we grew, we dried, and we crushed. Just a bit for a bit of flavor. That's it. Mix it. So you see over here, the fat has already started sizzling. So simple and straightforward raita over here. You can also add a bit of chaat masala to it. This thing is ready. Now, if you would have seen in the Pakistani videos, the pan they use is huge. You don't have that luxury, and we don't need to do it anyway because they're doing it commercially. For us doing it home, just having the biggest frying pan is good enough. The bigger you can do more, but with the smaller one, you would have to do a few runs. So I think I can do at least two in this. You can shape it like a hamburger, but I prefer it to be a bit longer. Not really round. Almost the shape of your hand. So I'll let it cook slowly. I would not finish everything on camera because I want to finish the video to show you how to serve it. One thing you should try doing, don't flip it too quick. Let it cook on one side, then flip it, and hopefully that's the only flip you need. Depending, sometimes frying pan is or the oil is not hot enough, so you might need a couple. But generally speaking, the best way to do is do your cooking on one side, flip it, do your cooking on that side, and be done. So let me finish this, and I'll show you after that. As we finish everything, so we have the raita over here, the salad, the kebab, and a bit of pita bread. You can eat it any way you want. My preferred way is typically this way. Dip a bit of raita. Very nice. As I wrap up this video, I hope that you saw something new. I hope it gives you some inspiration. We will see each other next week again, but I hope that you try making it. Keep on watching our channel. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.